Well, I guess we'll just dive into it. I mean, like, I saw you guys play at South by last year because I saw the band name and I was like, oh, that sounds like an interesting name. Let's go see what they sound like. And since that point, it seems like you guys have just been on like a path that I don't think any band that played South by last year could have imagined.
Totally. It's been crazy. I don't think any of us could have hoped or dreamed even for where it's gone. You know, it's funny because it's really been a 4-year kind of slow, long grind for us. But this last year has just been a skyrocket. You know, I feel like we kind of got that precipice where the scale kind of tips, you know, or the snowball effect where whatever it is, it's just, you know, we're extremely grateful for it because, you know, especially when you go to like South by, you see, man, there's so many talented, wonderful bands that deserve to, you know, be able to tour internationally and have success. And so to be where we are, you know, we're just grateful to be here because, you know, it's partial luck and it's partial hard work. And so, you know, it's great.
Absolutely. And I thought maybe we'll go back since you're talking about working at it, you know, working your asses off for 3 years. I heard you used to like beg hotels in Vegas to just let you guys play, just to get out there and showcase. Yep. So
totally. Yeah. Go ahead.
No. It sounds like you were going to say something, so maybe I don't need to ask a question.
Yeah. You know, well, yeah, we played seriously 5 days a week. We would go to all the hotels and just tried to get as much stage time as we could. First and foremost, just so that we understood each other and were able to get as much time on stage together to really, because that's where you really kind of mold together as artists, but also because we were dirt poor, had no money, and needed to have money to pay rent for this little tiny house that we rented out together. And so, yeah, we really took any gig we could get, and we played 6-hour gigs at different casinos, and they had us do 50% covers, 50% originals, and you know, it was grueling and long, but it was really great because it really helped us figure out who we were, helped us pay the bills, and yeah, you know, I think every artist needs to go through a lot of time on stage before you get to the point where you're playing late night TV or anything like that, because it really prepares you for it, you know.
And did that stuff prepare you for the live setup that you guys have now? I mean, it's unusual to see a frontman with, I don't know, what is it, like a 3-foot, 36-inch bass drum? I don't know how big that thing is, but it's massive.
Well, no, that's my old one. That's my tiny one. Now we got this one that's like 5 foot and 300 pounds a taiko drum from they build them in Asia. Really, really cool. But that's, yeah, you'll see that on the upcoming show for this one.
So how did that?
But no, as well as a concert drum.
Right. But how did that? You know, how do you decide that that's how we want to present ourselves on stage? Because it is very different than most bands.
Sure. Yeah. You know, before I did any songwriting, I was a drummer. I played in, you know, little garage bands growing up and took drum lessons for a couple of years. And it was my first love, you know, percussion and world instrumentation. And so I never wanted to leave that behind fully. You know, it was something, there's nothing like being the drummer in a band when you're feeling the rhythm and you can aggressively beat on something. There's something very masculine and kind of tribal about that. And so, you know, I really wanted to incorporate that into our live show, and the guys were down with it as well. And it just kind of has organically built from the beginning. I was a small tom drum in the very beginning that I played, and that wasn't enough because we wanted a deeper bass sound. So then we got a concert drum, and then, you know, and then we wanted even a bigger sound. So, you know, we continually are searching for kind of that deeper bass and that bigger sound. I think all of us are very infatuated with percussion, both organically and electric.
And what about when it comes to writing for you? Like, do you start with, I don't know, coming from the drumming background, like a programming or a beat? Do you start in a guitar? Like, how do you guys, or I guess I know you're a little fanatical about songwriting, so how does it start?
Yeah, I think it does very often start percussively. I'll do a lot of beat building just on my computer. I work with Logic a lot. It primarily starts on either mine or Wayne's computer, Wayne's guitars. Mm-hmm. Both of us will either build some sort of a beat or kind of with maybe some synths or you know, him with guitar, and he'll send it to me, or I'll start on it, and then I'll write lyrics and melody. And yeah, I think that, but coming from a drummer's background, I think that I sing very percussively because of it. So a lot of lyrics that I do are very kind of rhythmic, as well as, you know, we every song that we write is very beat driven. We love percussion, and we love a song that kind of can make you move, or that you feel. And I think that rhythm can transcend cultures and so many things. People could listen to a song and maybe not understand the lyrics, but they can understand the rhythm of it together. And so I always have been a big believer in strong rhythms. I think I grew up listening to Paul Simon, and it's a lot of rhythmic kind of music, and so I've always been drawn towards it.
Is that why you chose Alex to be the producer? I mean, coming from a hip hop background, it must be. I mean, I think it might be the first time. I don't know his discography off by heart, but as far as I know, I don't think.
Yeah, it really kind of is
before.
Yeah, we really are kind of the first rock band. I mean, he'd worked a little bit with Foster the People, I think, on a song, and U2, but this was the first album that he had done that was rock based, and I think it really surprisingly was a perfect match because our kind of, when people ask me to define our sound, I say, well, we're a rock band, but we try to fuse the organic kind of side of being a rock band with the synthetic and electric beats, and kind of bring those two worlds together and meet somewhere in the middle. And Alex really helped enabled us to be able to capture the kind of percussive sounds that we wanted onto tape, which it's a difficult task. It's one thing to hear something in your head, and it's another thing to be able to achieve that on a record. And Alex kind of had that experience to say, okay, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to adjust the frequency or EQ this so that we get that low roar from the bass, or that big pop from the snare that we want. He really was kind of a genius at production in that sense, and so it really helped us to create that big sound that we wanted on the record.
The other thing a producer does, and having seen this firsthand in studios before, is that they deal with egos a lot. They have to be there for the band to talk to you guys through a period, especially for you guys this year, where your song hit before the record was done. So
right.
What was it like? Like, was there advice he was giving you? Was there pressure on you? Was there worry from you guys in the band making the record over the summer after already having had success? It's not like you had the chance to,
Sure.
put out the record and then let it kind of go.
Right. I think it was good because how everything worked, because Alex came to the band as an honest, just genuine fan of the band. We'd written It's Time and recorded it before we even met him. Mm-hmm. And so he didn't want to change anything about the band. He just wanted to help us kind of do it on a bigger level and bring his experience to the table to really kind of to achieve the sonic sounds that we wanted. And so he's a perfect producer because he knows when to be hands off and just to let the artist breathe and do your thing. But he also knows how to kind of step in and say, well, here's my 2 cents. What do you guys think? And generally his 2 cents are worth, $2 million. Like they're he's very understated in everything that he says. And I think one of the main things he taught us was, no matter how you get a sound, if it's correct, if it sounds right, it's correct. And I think before we met him, we really felt like, all right, well, yeah, that's a demo. How we recorded that guitar, it was just a new laptop. So now we have to record it into a nice microphone because it's time to record. Mm-hmm. But Alex kind of would step in and say, well, did it sound right when you recorded it through the microphone? How does that sound? We're like, oh yeah, it sounds good actually. Okay, then it's right. And a lot of demo scratch vocals and scratch, like the hand, even the stomp claps in Its Time, we kept the original stomp claps, which were recorded into my computer through the computer microphone, in my kitchen late at night. Those were kept because they just sounded right, and there's a lot of that on the record. So Alex really helped us to go with our gut feeling on things,
I love that, man. I love when that organic stuff just ends up in there on the records.
Totally.
So so to move from the record a little bit to the live shows, because that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your lives, and especially the rest
right.
of this year. Like, it seems like you guys, you've been on the road about a month, and it doesn't stop, at least for the foreseeable future. So what have you done to prepare for life on the road?
Well, thankfully we've had 4 years really that we've been on the road nonstop, and so
have you?
to have
Okay.
a year in front of us, yeah, we really have. We've toured the whole 4 years we've been together, but it's getting more intense for sure. Like this whole year is already planned ahead. The entire year is already, taken up with summer festivals and European tour. And now we're going to Asia and we're going to Spain. So things are really filled out, but it could be daunting, I think, if you really look at it in that aspect. I've always learned to just take it a day at a time and be in the city that you're in and enjoy it and enjoy the show, and then you go to sleep and wake up the next day. If you look at the schedule, I think it gets a little overwhelming.
Yeah, that goes to something Wayne said about you, that you're more spur of the moment and he's more of an over-analytical person. So I'm sure for him, maybe having that schedule helps him and you just want to stay away from it.
Exactly. I've always kind of been in the moment type person, and Wayne is pretty opposite, and so it actually works out because we kind of counterbalance each other.
Absolutely, yeah. The whole Lennon McCartney thing. Not to compare you to the Beatles or anything, but
no, yeah.
So who's going to?
They're not worthy.
Well, you're getting there. We'll see how things go. So Ben gets in a lot of trouble, I hear. What have you been able to tame Ben? Now that things are getting bigger. No. Okay.
No, the answer to that is a big fat no. No, he. But we love that about him. I don't think I would, even if I could, because it at least provides me with entertainment. But every city we're in, it seems that he somehow can get into trouble. Me and him have been through everything. I've broken him out of jail. I've gotten, oh man, I won't even get into it because for his own reputation's sake. But
well, I was watching enough interviews. He seems to bring it up often.
Hell and high water.
Yeah.
No, we've been through hell and high water together, but it's good because it bonds us and he keeps us on our toes, and we all are a bit of pranksters as well, so we always kind of get each other into trouble just from pranking each other. But go say that again.
Well, I was going to ask you about what recent pranks have gone down, but I don't think we have too much time here. But if you got something quickly.
Yeah. Well, we have this thing going on right now that just happens every night. It seems like where our wolf is a vegetarian, and so we're always finding ways to prank him.
Do you sneak me into his food? That'd be so mean.
Well, we don't go as far as that.
Okay,
but the farthest we have gone is we took his sage water and marinated ham in it for a couple hours, and then we took the ham out, of course. And then that was his stage water, and he definitely drank it. And when we got off stage, we told him about it. And the second we told him, he was like, "I knew something tasted weird about it," and threw up all over the place. Threw up just that easy. Yeah, it was pretty gross. And actually, when he threw up, I kind of wanted to throw up, and I felt a little bit bad about it, but not that bad because he still eats he still eats like meat broth. You know what I mean? He'll have like broth that's been cooked in meat, so it's. If he didn't, we wouldn't go there. But he's already gone there himself, so I don't feel that bad about it.
Oh, ham juice though. Oh, it's so gross.
and last night we put roast beef all over his keyboard. Right when he came out to start the show, he had to take the roast beef. But we've done that to him a couple times now. But it never gets old.
That's great. All right, Dan. Before I let you go, 5 quick questions. I ask everybody 1-word answers.
Okay.
Road or studio?
Road.
Lennon or McCartney?
Lennon.
When you hear a song, what usually hits you first? Lyrics, melody, or rhythm?
Rhythm.
Song you've written you're most proud of?
Nothing left to say.
Cool. And in 1 word, Imagine Dragons.
Oh, man, that's tough. Beginning.